Hey, welcome to the Everyday Economics Podcast. Our podcast helps you learn about the economic world happening around you every day. I'm your host, Chris Krug, president of the 501c3 nonprofit, Franklin News Foundation. Everyday Economics is a production of America's Talking Network. Check out all of our great podcasts at americastalking.com. To support Everyday Economics and podcasts such as this one, please make your tax-deductible charitable contribution by clicking the link in the show description. We're recording today's episode on Tuesday, April 18th, and joining me as always, Dr. Orphe Divounguy. The National Association of Home Builders every month are measured. And this, forgive me if I'm wrong, this is a Wells Fargo product, but this is something that's kind of co-branded with Wells Fargo, right?
National Association of Home Builders and Wells Fargo. That's correct.
And so they have this standing poll about sentiment regarding new building. And for 4 months in a row, it's up. And so you and I have talked about this. It's like there's not going to be a housing crash. There's not going to be a housing slump. And this has been a position where you very specifically among economists and people in the field have been consistent in saying there may be some slowdowns, there may be some reactivity around interest rates, there may be volume issues related to sellers who simply just don't want to give up a 2.75% or 3.5% mortgage, whatever it is that they had before things went kind of kablooey, for a 6.5% or 6.8% mortgage. Man, it's looking like you're right.
I'm glad you brought this up.
I wanted to talk about it because it's like I'm not trotting you around the track for a victory lap, but honestly, you have been rock steady with regard to your feelings about the size of the marketplace for homes and, frankly, housing inside of this economy, which has been, it's been really difficult for a lot of people to pull apart. You've been very, very good inside of this space.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Chris. When you say crash, it really depends what you're talking about. Yes, we had a big decline in sales, right? In the number of transactions, for sure. And that's because home buying demand is much lower than it was last year. But in many areas around the country, it's still much more robust than before the pandemic. In fact, we kind of have the countries divided. You have those pandemic era hotspots, like the Austin and Phoenix, that have seen a big slowdown where inventory has risen, because of the decline in home buying demand, but also a ton of new construction in the Southwest, right, by the way. And then you have the Midwest, for example, or the East and South of the country where demand has fallen, but because sellers have pulled back a lot, house prices are still ticking up. You get a slowdown in the price growth, but prices are still increasing. You're not going to get the price crash that, you hear your YouTubers and your pundits on social media and Instagram and all those places talking about. It's just not going to happen. And home builders are telling us where they think the future is going to be, right? They make money doing this stuff. So they're very good at forecasting where demand is going to be. And home builders are, have turned a corner. Confidence is up. You have a combination of mortgage rates falling for the past 4 months, trending down for the past 4 months. You also have the fact that it's the spring, right? There's the seasonal factors that are bringing back buyers. So home builders are saying, look, there's a ton of upward momentum, on the demand side. And because new listings, so existing homeowners have pulled back so much, locked into very low mortgage rates, new construction is capturing a larger share of the buyers that are out there. Right? They're taking a larger share of the market. And of course, that's why they are going to be very, very confident about the housing market right now. Right? So they're not jumping of joy, but they're definitely not as gloomy as they were last year. And they're starting to see home builder confidence turn a corner.
There's still the anecdotal. And I think, that as human beings, I think we're attracted to stories and outlier stories. And of course, we suffer from proximity biases and things like that. We know somebody who's going through financial problems. They lost their job. They're going to downsize anyway. They're going to move the house out. They're going to just move on from it, and they're going to price the house aggressively, and they're going to be gone. And it's going to look on the stat sheet like it was a bargain, but it was really more like circumstances. Now, outside of things like that, in the data itself, you had talked about where this phenomenon, is most clear. With regard to new building, what markets do you see still have plenty of room to go?
when you say plenty of room to go, it's hard to to commit to plenty of room to grow. But I think the most affordable markets in the country, the Midwest, some parts of the South are going to see, and even the Northeast, right, in Pennsylvania, for example, are going to see more demand than in the West and Southwest of the country. And it's because of that builders are going to continue to serve that single family demand segment, because people are still out there trying to buy that first home and they can afford it, especially with mortgage rates coming down as of late. So, so we still have a ton to go there. You start to see, in the housing starts data that came out, you start to see some softness in residential building, in multifamily building. And it's interesting because it makes sense with rents starting to come down. There's a ton under construction right now. I think we have a record number of multifamily units under construction already, I think in March, the most since 1973, right? So let me say that again, the most multifamily units under construction since 1973. And you start to see builders pull back a little bit. And it just makes sense because they're finishing these units. As they finish these units, that's going to put downward pressure on rents, right? And so it's expected for them to pull back on multifamily now because, they've ramped it up. They've really built those units up. Now, but what nobody expected, and if you talk to the YouTubers, is that single family was going to be making a comeback, right? Despite the 6.5% mortgage rate, that's the part that nobody expected, except us, of course, on this podcast, where we said, look, there's a lot of families out there that are still ready and willing, that can afford it, even at 7% mortgage rates, that can afford it. The constraint on the single family side is the lack of inventory, caused by new existing homeowners just pulling back so much. New listings down 22% year over year. That's a lot. That's a lot of pullback from existing homeowners. They're just choosing not to sell their homes. And of course, it's good news for builders because basically their market share has increased.
We covered a lot of ground. We're going to call it good right there. For Orphe Divounguy, this has been Chris Krug. Subscribe to Everyday Economics and dozens of other quality podcasts at americastalking.com.